My name is Senai. I grew up in Boston. I went to Maimonides, and I also grew up in Moshava. I would count down the days every single year. I was always so excited to come back. In Eid Daled, Chana spoke to us about her personal Aliyah story. And I remember leaving and thinking, it's so clear, that's what I have to do. And I told my parents we're making Aliyah like now. I wanted to do 9th grade in Israel already, and that didn't happen. I made Aliyah in the end of 2018. I met my husband Yosef in Camp Moshava when we were working in Eid Daled together. Basically from then on I had a crush on him. I was about to start Shirut Leumi and he was about to draft to the army. Already then we realized a lot of shared values that we had. We got married Erev Yom Kippur, October 3rd, 2022. Throughout our marriage, Yosef was in the army. So we had a very unique marriage. Nothing was taken for granted. Our time together was special and wasn't wasted. A lot of people said, it's going to be so hard, he's going to be so distracted, he's going to be this, he's going to be that, and you're going to be miserable, blah, blah, blah. We weren't miserable. It really made us feel proud. We got Met at Moshava shirts, which, like, as a camper, you dream of getting one of those. So Yosef was in a unit called Duvdevan, which is an elite commando unit. Elite units are the main units that are protecting us from terrorists. They confront them and they arrest them. And that was what Yosef was doing almost every night. He was very grateful that he was able to have this very direct way to protect Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. Like, that was huge for him. He really saw it as his shlichut. And I saw it as mine also. We were together in it. On Friday, October 6th, we had the best night, dancing and with family, because all of Yosef's family comes to Jerusalem for Simchat Torah. Then on Shabbat morning, we woke up at 8 in the morning because his mifaked called him. And he said, there's a balagan in the south. I don't know so much, but there are soldiers that were killed. And then about 10 minutes later, there's an azakah, the first one in Jerusalem. I grew up in Boston. I've heard one azakah before this, so it was very jarring for me. There were like 5 azakot in a row. And after the 5th one, he looked at me and he said, okay, I have to call them and see what's going on. We ran into his parents as we were leaving. His parents gave him a bracha. Something in me knew something is very wrong here. And then he turns to me and he says, okay, we have to run. I didn't ask any questions. I just started running with him. And he was still himself, though. He looks at me and he says, are you having fun, enjoying the run? He ran to the car. I was really in shock. I don't remember saying anything. And he gave me a hug and a kiss. And he said, I'll see you soon. And got in the car and he drove away. And from there, he drove to base. Only one other person from his tzevet had arrived at the same time. They knew they were going to go to Kfar Aza. They didn't know what was waiting for them there. It was just, let's go as fast as possible. They barely knew what they were getting into. So when Yosef got to Kfar Aza, it was already a battleground. At first, they went through the main entrance of the kibbutz. When they would see an injured person on the road or, in the bushes or sometimes on the roofs of the buildings, they would carry them into their vehicle and drive the vehicle out to somewhere safe. They were under fire, and despite being under such attack, they were able to save many people while they were there for those 3 hours. We have a video actually of him saving someone who was critically injured, and today that man is alive. He's walking, he's talking, he is fully functional. Had they not gotten there when they did, he wouldn't be alive. We know that they were an essential part of saving a lot of people there. So they were in and out 3 times, and the 3rd time when they went in, instead of going straight through, they went around towards the back of the kibbutz, which is right on the fence. And between that fence and Aza, there's maybe 2 miles of fields. It's very, very close. And because that area is so close to Aza, the Mechablim were there very early in the morning, and there were tens, if not 100 of them there by the time Yosef got there. Yosef and his team, they knew how dangerous it was, and yet they still went in between the rows of houses, trying to save whoever they could, because there was a terrorist in every house. They saw like a hand-powered rocket on the ground, and they wanted to get to it before the terrorists did. So they start driving towards it, and it was a trap. Their vehicle was shot at from the side, and his friend ran to the right, and Yosef ran straight towards the fence, and that's the last time anyone saw him. During the Shiva, we were hearing a lot of stories. Yosef's officers from the army said about when he was in training. When you're training for the army, they often make you do things very fast. You have to pack up a bag fast and get in your clothing fast and put your gun on fast. And Yosef was very quick, but some of the other people in the tzeva were not as quick. So first Yosef would help them. He would help them pack up their bag, and you have 2 minutes to do this. He would help them pack up their bag and put on their gun, and then he would start with his stuff, and sometimes he wouldn't finish his own stuff in time. And they would ask him, what took you so long? And he wouldn't say, I was helping a friend. He would say, oh, I just ran out of time. These things look small, but they're not small. They create such a big butterfly effect, and if it's within your reach, why not reach for it? If you can help somebody, if somebody needs help, help them. It'll make you both feel good. We love to do a tandem bike, like it's 2 seats on one bike, so we love to do that. And always at the end of every bike ride, Yosef would stop pedaling and he would say, okay, the last push is on you. You got this. And I would say, no, I can't, I'm not strong enough. And he said, you're strong enough, you could do it. And that's something that's really been pushing me. Like, he knows I got this. Yosef really saw with very clear eyes, everything that we do can bring the Geula. And I know that this is part of something bigger. And it gives me strength because I had that from Yosef. And I believe that we'll really see a lot of good